Welcome to Relationship Coaching Group podcast. Whether this is your first visit or you've been following us, don't forget to download this podcast to reference later, because here we keep it real with scenarios, tips, and suggestions, everything relationship centered. Hello, I'm Roxanne, your relationship coach and host, along with my co-host, the professor. Together, we've been coaching couples and singles for over 20 years, and we're here now to work with you. So get ready for today's podcast, because we're going to be talking about outside relationship influences.
Ooh.
Yeah, and before we start, I want to introduce you to the professor. Hello, Professor.
Hello. Hello to our listeners. Thank you for joining us. And this is
Oh, goodness.
a big topic.
This is huge, Professor.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a multi-parter because
Yes.
wow,
Yeah, we may have.
well, you pick them, don't you?
Well, because of the client's issues, we're able to come on
Yes.
and present it and maybe help someone else.
And just a little bit here, even though we talk about these clients, we don't mention any names. We there's nowhere to find out or know who they are.
And if anybody have any semblance of what we discuss about our clients, that's just a coincidence.
Yeah, this is just to help you so that if you're in a similar situation, we hope that these podcasts that we do will help somebody.
Yes.
Because that's our goal, is to help you, to educate you, because we want you to have a wonderful, loving, successful life.
Yes. And as you said before, Professor, that relationship shouldn't be, what did you said relationship shouldn't be a struggle.
It shouldn't be difficult.
It should be joyful.
Yeah, it shouldn't be torture.
To be in, but a joy to be in.
It should be a joy to be in a relationship. A relationship is work, because you have to work at it
Constantly.
to keep it fresh, alive, to keep it honest, to keep it real.
Yes.
But when you allow the outside influences,
yes, and that's where we're going to dive into. And I have a question. I'm going to start this out with a question. Have you ever felt like your relationship isn't just between the two of you? Maybe it's a parent with strong opinions, or an in-law who always has advice, or friends who think they know what's best for your relationship. And you know, Professor?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell on myself a little bit here. I'm going to tell on myself.
Tell it.
So when I was a young man.
And that was a long time ago, isn't it?
Really?
Okay, just a little fun. Just joking.
We're going to talk about this.
I'm sure I'm going to get an earful after this podcast.
So, quite a while ago, I was a very young man, and I started dating this girl, and my mom tried to put herself in the middle. And it caused a rift between my mum.
Yes.
But in the end, my mum was right. But my father said he needs to learn by himself. You can't be there all the time.
Right.
So I had the pressure of my mum telling me all these things, and the pressure of trying to make this relationship work. Yeah, my mom was right.
Yeah.
But I needed to learn that myself.
Exactly. And that happens so much.
Sometimes parents, even though they mean well and they want the best for you, sometimes they only see the outside of that person, not the inside.
Right.
So sometimes family can be put too much on you.
Right. And as you said, sometimes you just need to find out for yourself.
Sometimes it's best.
Because they could be right, they could be wrong.
Exactly.
About that person. And the truth is, many couples aren't just navigating their relationship. They're steering through everyone else's expectations of their relationship also. Yes. Just like what you went through. You had to steer through that relationship because of what the advice that your mom was giving you, but you had to steer through it for yourself.
Right.
Yes. So
you have to excuse my chair because it's
a little squeaky.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the external pressures that couples face from family, in-laws, and friends, and how to protect your relationship without starting a war.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. When you're in a relationship, people can be, your outside forces can be very overbearing.
Yes.
From friends. Let's start with family.
Mm-hmm.
So you meet somebody, you're dating, and your family hasn't even met that person yet, but is already saying, because you may have shared too much with your family.
Right.
So, oh, she's real nice, but I don't like what she does or he does. You're saying too much about your relationship, and you're always pointing out the negative.
Right.
So now what happens is that your family members
picks up on those negatives.
Right.
Yeah.
And are trying to protect you.
Right. Right. And it's family pressure, in-law interference, and fair-weathered friends. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
We're going to start with the expectations from in-laws. You know how in-laws during holidays, family time, living arrangements, are telling you how to raise your children. All these things, because I know couples, if both their parents or family is in the same city or nearby, you may be an hour or two away from each other. Come Christmas, they have to do Christmas Eve with one and Christmas Day with the other.
Oh yeah,
a lot of that
goes on. So you have both sides trying to pull you each way.
Right.
The trick to that is not going to both, trying to divide yourself and spend a little time, getting them all together and saying, let's do a big potluck or a big Christmas thing.
Where everybody's together.
Right. So one year you go to this family member, next one you go back to them.
That's a good.
That's the easiest way.
Especially if both sides of the parents get along.
Right.
Now
if they don't get along, that's a different
story.
But assuming that you get along, then you have to handle it like that.
Yeah, because they want their family time.
Right.
So you have to divide yourself, which
absolutely. And
it works out for some.
Works for some, but again, you have to look at your kids.
Right.
They see all this.
Yeah. But I like what you said about if say for instance the couple and their children live outside the state or so far away, hours and hours away, that one family group can set them or they can work together and every year come together and it's like a little reunion with the children, grandchildren, and both sets of parents are there. But yeah, that's kind of hard. And living arrangements. Sometimes you have in-laws saying, "Oh, come stay with us," so you can save money to buy a house.
Right.
And that's it's kind of controlling because they may feel that the spouse, whether it's a man or the wife,
never live with your family.
Yeah, they may feel, well, your husband can't save money to get my child a house,
right?
With the two children. Just
I want to jump on that because that we've had a couple of cases where they've got married and the parents have convinced them to come stay with whichever party of the family, come stay with them, get yourself on your feet, get out. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be getting married if you're not ready. You should be living your separate until when you are financially ready to get married. But people are so quick to run and get married and then live with their parents.
Especially when they're young.
Yes.
They want to get married so bad.
They want to get married
they
so
can't
bad.
afford. They can only afford a studio.
And that's when the marriage ends.
Because it's not comfortable maybe for the outside.
Right.
spouse.
Because the parents of where you're living at are used to living a certain way. Now you're married to this girl or guy, and they don't live how your parents live.
Mm-hmm.
They might leave stuff in the sink. They might leave hair in the bathroom.
Or you might
Yeah.
not wash dishes this way.
Right. So, there's all these things that come into play.
Yeah.
If you're not financially ready to be married, don't get married.
Don't get married. And here's a little takeaway. When problems come up when one of you or one partner feel they have to choose a position between their partner or parent, that's a problem.
That is a big problem. And it's really hard because when a parent involves themselves in a relationship,
mm-hmm.
because you have parents and children who are very close together, and you'll find that they will put their mother or their father, whoever it may be, over their significant other.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in a marriage.
Yes.
What does it say in the Bible when you get married?
That you have to cling to your spouse and leave your mother and father, leave your parent, leave your mother and father.
But see, and that's when the parents need to learn this is where you cut off.
Mm-hmm.
And now your role is of parents and grandparents that are outside.
Right.
You don't interfere with what they have going on. Let them fight their own.
But a lot of parents, it's hard for them to do.
Because that's my baby. I got to protect my baby.
Yeah.
But your baby's not learning anything because you keep putting a shield up and trying to protect them.
Oh, yes, exactly. And what about family opinions about your relationship? You have family that'll question your partner's job.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have, they might even compare your relationship to other family members' relationship.
Yes.
Well, John and Mary, they bought this big house because John has this fabulous job. Mary, has this great position, corporate position. And you don't, when are you guys going to step up? When is your husband going to step up? When is your wife going to step up? So that makes it hard.
Because I've always, as I got older, I told my parents less and less about who I'm dating. I actually stopped introducing girlfriends a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I never talked negative about anyone I'm dating to my family.
Right.
I always said about all the fun things we did. Because the moment that you start speaking negative,
oh goodness, yeah, they'll take that and run with it.
They take it and run with it because you've gone over there to vent.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, Dad, they don't do this and they don't do that, and I don't think he loves me. Everything's negative.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
because they never talk about, oh my gosh, Mom, he took me out to this wonderful dinner. Oh my gosh, and he told me they don't talk about it. They talk about it because they want to vent.
Right, and we talked about in one of the podcasts about keeping your private life private.
Yes,
not going to the family.
I never share with anyone. Whatever business I'm doing or anything like that, I never share with anybody.
Yeah,
because there's always people on the outside that try to
chop it down.
Yeah, traveling. Or I remember the first time that we went to travel, and people, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Right. Yeah. What do you want to do over there?
Yeah.
And here's a takeaway: family concerns sometimes come from love and protection, but they can still cause stress.
Yeah, more than stress. Make you want to pull your hair out and go boys.
Now, what about friends? We're going to kind of run through this because these are this is a topic.
We're just touching on this because we're going to be
kind of want to give you some tips. Tips and
just to get you going, plant the seed. We're just trying to plant the seed right now because there's more to come.
Right, and of course, they can always.
I think so. On the male side, you're always going to have on the male side, male friends. You're always going to have those that are going to speak very strongly about the person you're with because one, they're not in a relationship themselves or they're jealous of what you have.
you're touching on
your list.
But that's okay. That's okay. Go ahead. Yes.
And a lot of people don't realize that your friends can be jealous of what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Or they don't have a relationship themselves.
Professor.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm crossing your line, but
that's what we're on the same.
We're on the same page.
Go ahead.
But here's the kicker: when you have people that hang out together, and one finds a relationship, and another finds a relationship, and you're down to two people or one person, and they keep going to all these weddings, resentment starts kicking in.
Wow, yeah.
Why them? Why not me?
Right.
Why can't you come in and hang out and have a beer with me, or go to a girls' night out?
Yep.
Well, I'm married. I'm with one. So.
Right.
And then the outside pressure, and it causes conflict.
Exactly. Listen, friends. My little pointers are friends may encourage breakups after an argument, even a small argument, because they may be jealous.
Yes.
See, just what you said. And they may not like your partner. Or they're single and they want you to be single. These are
I don't know if you remember this. It's about 3 years ago. We had gone to a get-together and at a bar with some other friends. Do you remember when someone we know was at the bar and was talking to a girl, and her friend came over and said, "Don't talk to him. He's not your type." Do you remember that?
Yes. Because she was just, she wanted him.
She wanted him.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the girl went to the bathroom, her friend slipped this guy her phone number.
Mm-hmm.
You remember?
Yes.
But that just shows.
Low down.
Yep. Because I tapped you.
Low down.
I tapped you and I was like, she just slipped his phone number. And you were like, what?
Yeah.
And we're watching this unfold.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Friends may be your friend to a point, but if they feel like you're getting more or have more than them, that's when it can be a problem.
Exactly. Kind of stealing the show, but friends might say, "You've changed since you've had a boyfriend or girlfriend. You've changed. You're not the same." Just see, and then, or we don't go out anymore. Kind of what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have time for me anymore, and then they'll tease you about your relationship.
Yeah,
they'll tease you. What do you see in him? Or, why do you have to be together so much?
If you're happy, they are not going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have friends that they don't want you to be happy because they're not happy.
Right.
You heard the old saying, misery loves company?
Yes. And the takeaway for this, you have any more pointers on this? The takeaway for this is friends should support your relationship, not compete with it. Right, Professor? They should
say that again. Say that again.
Friends should support your relationship, not compete with it.
Yes, that's. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
we need to make a bumper sticker for that. Because that is so true. We value friendship.
Yes.
But what happens is that when you've been with a friend for a long time and you've been single and you do so much together, and then you find someone, that friend could become, what I'm saying, it happens all the time, but it happens a lot.
Yeah.
And that friend becomes resentful.
Yes.
We did a podcast on catfishing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that friend is the one that is catfishing you and trying to steal you away from someone else or trying to cause problems.
Yes.
Because they don't want to see you happy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, friends are great. And trust me, I've got a ride or die friend. We've been friends since school.
Wow.
That's
a long time.
What's that mean?
That's that's a long
time. We got to have a conversation. But we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
good.
When I didn't have food in my fridge, he came over and put food in my fridge.
Oh, sweet.
So that's a friend.
That's a friend.
And he would never do anything to come between me and a
Right.
relationship. But you have friends who are the opposite.
Yes.
That will not be there for you.
Mhm.
A friend should be there to help you pick up the pieces.
Right.
Because if you don't learn from your relationship, then it doesn't prepare you for the next one, the one that you're meant to have.
Right.
We go through relationships in order for us to learn about ourselves and what we don't want.
Right.
So that it prepares us for what's coming.
Sure. So looking back, family should be supportive.
Yes.
And
don't go venting to your family of all the negative stuff they don't do.
Right. And in-laws should not interfere with the way you raise your children, where you're living, how you're living. I think just like family, in-laws should be supportive. They support where they can.
The statistics show that this generation hates how they were raised.
Really?
Like kids who were raised and they were spanked or got hit with a belt or whatever, they refuse to spank their kids.
But they turned out great.
But they've turned out great, but they have resented how they were raised.
Got it. Yeah.
So they don't do those things with their kids.
And then you have loose children, loose cannons out about in society.
But
without discipline, that
yes,
is meaning
there has to be some form of discipline.
There has to be some,
but it has to be measurable.
Sure.
I'm not talking about beating the hell out of your kids. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, because back in the day, they'd make you go get the switch so they could whip you with it.
But what we're saying is that be mindful of who you tell your story to.
Right.
Because that story could be used against to hurt you and your family.
And that's where another podcast about communication.
Mm-hmm.
If you're having issues with your spouse or significant other, that's where you too sit down and communicate the issue so that you can resolve it together.
Yes.
Not involve mom or dad or and then some spouses will say, "Oh, he's a mama's boy," because he'll run to mama about everything, or her family's too much in our business.
Right.
So yeah, that's where you've got to be able to communicate to solve issues.
Absolutely.
Putting it out there is not going to solve it. It just causes a lot of commotion.
If you can't communicate, then you need to find a coach, someone that can that you can help you to communicate.
Right.
If you've listened to a podcast, we never say, we're the ones to come to. We're not that type.
Just get help.
Just get help, because we want your relationship to survive, because the numbers are climbing high of relationships that don't succeed.
Yes.
Marriage rate, divorce rate is growing massively.
Yes.
We don't want you to be one of those statistics.
We want your relationship to be joyful, not painful. Right, Professor?
Absolutely.
Joyful, not painful. So so friends, family, and in-laws, they should be supportive. They should rally around your relationship to just be
mindful of what you say, and do not speak negatively about your partner.
Right. So, in closing, here's what I want to leave with them, Professor. When the partnership is strong, outside pressure or influences have much less impact. When the partnership is strong, outside voices will always exist in relationships. It'll always be there. But the healthiest couples understand that while family, friends, and in-laws can offer support, the relationship itself must remain the focus and priority. At the end of the day, a strong partnership is built on two people choosing each other, not everyone else choosing for the two of you.
Absolutely.
So I have a question for the listeners, Professor, and they can leave their answers in the comment section or go on our website and leave it there. But here's the question for you listeners. Have you ever experienced outside pressure in your relationship, and how did you handle it?
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Professor, last words?
Again, in your relationships, be mindful of who you let into your relationship and what you share.
Yes. Yes.
A successful man or woman does not share everything what they're going to do. I know social media is there and you put everything out there, but trust me, it's good for little tidbits and stuff, but you should never share your whole story.
Yes, your private issues, your
private
personal
issues and all that stuff to yourself.
Communicate, learn to communicate.
Yes, communication is, and we say all the time, literally every podcast, communicate.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you don't want the outside influences in your business, in your financial business, in your work business, in your life business, in your marriage business.
Right.
Anything that goes on, you should be tackling it head on together. Communicate together with passion, with love and respect.
And if that's difficult to do, then that's where coaching and counseling come in.
Get some help.
Get some help. So thank you, Professor. Appreciate that. And if today's conversation resonated with you, remember that strong relationships don't just happen. They're built with awareness, communication, and the courage to grow together. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you follow the podcast so you don't miss future conversations about dating, relationships, emotional growth, and building deeper connection. And if you know someone who might benefit from today's topic, share this episode with them. And you can find us always at relationshipcoachinggroup.com, where you have a plethora of information there and how to reach and how to connect with us. And until next time, speak your needs clearly, listen without interrupting, and remember, you're not alone. Together, we got this.
We got you.